Hello, everyone. We are back, and yes, today we will be talking about the one thing that we need in general, all of us, and it's called jobs.
This is the worst.
Now, it's the one thing that we probably don't like the most because a lot of them don't tend to be the best. But that's why I'm here to tell you about my experiences, about my jobs. As far as I've gotten employment, it's been 2 jobs. One has been the most incredible #1 job I ever had. And the other one, not so much. Cannot compare. And so, I would like to share a story with you guys, if you will. So, grab a snack, grab a drink, because it's probably going to be a long one. But for today, I'm going to try to put it in order, so it kind of makes sense. And maybe you guys relate to this, so let me down in the comments if you guys agree or disagree with anything that I might comment for today. But there's going to be some things that you'll see. You'll see. So this is the way I'm going to layer it all down for you guys. It's going to be, how did I get here? So right at the beginning of the story of how we got from point A to point B. About WSS. So it's going to be about the first job I ever had. About Dollar General. This is for the second job, my current job right now as of recording. Final statements. So anything I want to add, right at the end, anything you guys, again, would like to disagree or agree with me in the comments about what I might mention at all in this video. And just to finish it. So it's going to be from how did I get here to the finish. So let me just start with how did I get here? So right at the beginning, once I got out of high school, I live in a small little town and it's very minimal of activities to do. It's a little town, there's not much to do, but it's nice. I love living here. My siblings love living here. My mom likes living here. We all have a great time here. And I've made new friends in this area. And I love my guys. Those are my homies. Those are my boys. I love those guys. But unfortunately, it was 5 or 6 years ago that we had some financial problems. And it did not go pretty well for us, for sure. We had to basically start packing our stuff away, and we had to move in with one of my family members, with my aunt. And unfortunately, we were living in a shed. There was 5 of us living in a shed. Now, it sucked for a little bit, but luckily, in the first maybe 2 weeks that we started living over there back in San Jose, we settled in a little bit because my mom was, doing her things for my siblings, for their school, for their doctors, for their dentist appointments. Everything was good for them. And then I got my job there, which was WSS. And then later on, a bit of tragedy happened, if you will. So, unfortunately, my siblings got in a car accident. It was not pretty. It was not pretty at all. They all got injured, not too badly, but enough where my brother, who was in the front seat, he got crushed enough with the car that his legs were broken. And it was terrible. It sucked for a good while. And so they were doing the best that they could to keep moving forward, and my brother was in the hospital for a good while. And he's better now. He is currently better now. He's walking, he's doing a lot better. He's doing a lot better. And so, while that happened, my siblings' father was looking somewhere else to live. We were still trying to find a new home. And so he did. He found a place in another town outside of where we used to originally live. He found a house. And so they decided to move over there. But because I felt extremely comfortable and I loved working where I was at, I decided to stay back. I told my mom, listen, I want to stay back. I'm going to keep working and they're paying me well here. So I might as well continue here and I'll help you guys from a distance, from afar. And my mom agreed. She was like, all right, well, if you like it here, then so be it. Continue. And I was glad to hear that because I thought I was just going to be dragged as well. But, I'm already an adult. So it was still an option of mine and I'm glad that I took it. And then a year, I think it was almost going to 2 years of me working there. They were the greatest years I had there in that store. It was amazing. No complaints. Very minimal. Very minimal. 1 to 2 things, but very minimal. But I loved it. I loved working there. And unfortunately, the store had to close its doors. The business was going downhill and had to shut down. And it wasn't just us. It was all the rest of the other stores in San Jose. So basically they were all targeted and we were one of the first ones. And it was the biggest loss I ever had. The biggest. And it really hurt me. I started breaking down. I cried for a good while. For days, really. I was heartbroken because I loved that job. And so I had to move in back with my family. Since then, they found a house back here in the original town that we used to live. And one of my biggest fears was that I was going to have to share rooms with my brother again. I'm the oldest out of 5, including me. So me and then 4 others. I have 3 sisters and 1 brother. And I used to originally share the room with him. And I just needed space to do my type of stuff. This right here is what I need to do my content, my videos, for you guys to enjoy and for me to be more expressive, have more space, me to be more free to do my stuff. And that was my biggest fear. But luckily, the owner of this house, they built a room in their garage. So it's the reason why that thing's there. It's the electricity box for the main house. So if I wanted to, I could go over there and turn off the light. But obviously I'm not going to do that. But I was excited. I was like, okay, well, now then I have a little bit more of extra space for myself. Okay, I guess I'll go back. Why not? It's my family. I'm going to go back. So I came back. And actually a couple of days ago, we started putting all of our stuff up. This isn't, final. All of this is still in progress. We barely gotten some of our stuff that were packed up in a storage unit, and we are still in a work in progress to fully finishing and completing and decorating our house, me included. So this might be a little empty for now, but trust me, it's gonna look a lot nicer for future videos. And this is what we're all gonna be used to for now on. Hopefully, pray to God. And so, of course, I needed another new job. And one of my local stores here in town is, I would say, one of the #1 stores, because apparently they are #1 in the company, is called Dollar General. I don't know what to say. It sucks. It sucks. Not the job. But a particular person. I'm not going to say names, not to call people out. But there's a particular person that I do not like and has ruined my experience in that store. And I hate being there. So now that you guys got the gist of, the whole lore from, beginning to current, now let's jump into about WSS. Oh, man, where do we even begin? where do we even begin with this? It was mind-blowing. So I want to let you guys know right now, I'm not the biggest person fashion-wise. If you guys look at my closet, I have a bunch of random stuff. And maybe not random, but what I like to wear is completely random. So anyone ever sees me out in the wild, you're going to see me with the most random fit possible. And that's what I like. I like keeping things random because you never know. It's unexpected. But most people don't like it. But hey, that's my style. So be it. And so more about WSS. For starters, it's a shoe store. So WSS is a shoe store where they sell, you can say, some of the newer brands, you know, the newer shoe models, which, you know, it's quite a big handful. My store, it was big. Not like big, but big enough where we had a wide selection of shoes. And honestly, there were some good ones. And I mean, there were some good ones. Because these are just, you know, 2 pairs. There were more that I wanted. Didn't get to buy them, but there was so many more good ones. These are by far some of my favorites, but there were more. And then, don't even get me started with the employees. Oh my god. Oh my god. We were like family. We were honestly family members to each other. We had each other's back for everything, in and out of the store. We were like this with each other. And honestly, I thank them from the bottom of my heart. If any of them get to ever watch this, I miss you guys. I really do miss you guys. And I hope to see you guys one day, soon. Maybe we'll go bowling out again someday. Maybe on my treat this time. But I do miss you guys, and I'll never forget the moments I had with you guys. But if you guys do want to hear, you know, some of the other stories that happened, you know, short versions wise of what happened in that store, because there are plenty of stories, let me know in the comments, because I would be down to make some shorts about them, because there were some crazy moments. I will say there were some crazy moments, and I mean crazy. But back to it, my role was, as a regular employee, it was pretty simple. It was register, and then on the floor to just, you know, fix, align shoes back again. And a lot of times I did morning shifts, so it would be in the morning with a truck, and I would, you know, pick up all of the stuff that we had for that day. So all of the clothes, which was included too, we had a bunch of shirts, shorts, sweaters, all that type of stuff too, not just shoes. We had apparel as well, and it was really easy. It was really easy. There was nothing hard about that job. You just come in, organize the shoes, you know, did register. Our system was extremely easy and simple. It was a couple of taps, that was it. You were done. And again, with my coworkers, or should I say my family was the greatest. From other regular employees to the manager themselves. So I basically worked with 2 managers, because the original manager got fired midway, or kind of right at the end of the WSS story. But he was there for a good while, and I liked him too. He was a pretty cool guy. He was a pretty cool manager. Pretty chill guy. And it was unfortunate to see him go, but what can you do, really? His case was very unfair too. But yeah, there was a lot of moments, I will say. One of them really meant a lot to me was that when the accident happened, I was broken down. I couldn't concentrate at work. I was constantly, I was fully depressed, knowing of what happened to my siblings. And one of the managers, the assistant manager, he was one of my closest friends. I still see him as one of my closest friends. He, at the time, he would give me rides back home from work, which is again another reason why they were so cool. He, though, that day, he saw that I was extremely depressed and he almost couldn't even take it. Because in the store, they knew me as the happiest person in the store. I was the life of the party. I loved to have fun in the store. There was always these funny moments with these guys, us chuckling and having fun from across the store. One of us would be from one side and the other one from the other. And we were just having fun. We were working, making money, and having genuine fun. But that day, I wasn't feeling it. I was not feeling it. So he did me a great favor because I was basically in my depression, and my version of depression was I would drown myself in just junk food the entire time, just junk food, especially sodas and chips. So I had no clue what water was for maybe a week or two, and he just didn't want to see me that way no more. So he did anything that a great friend would do, and he got off his car at my local liquor store in San Jose, and he went to go buy me a jug of water. From that day forward, I took his advice of what he told me, and I started feeling better, slowly but surely. And at home, I started taking jugs of water of my own. And he would check on me of when I'd be chugging them chugs. And I appreciate what he did for me that day, because it did help me get out from my depression a little bit. I knew that it wasn't, anything serious. It was painful for my siblings and traumatic, but they're all okay. They're all okay. One of my other closer friends at work, he came in later. And it was pretty funny, his experience, because he came in and his second day at work, there was a lady that pulled out from when she went to our bathrooms. She pulled out a rusty handsaw at him. He, in the store, his role was an AP, so he was security for our store. His second day, there was a lady with a rusty handsaw. It was by far one of the funniest things I ever heard for a job experience. And then one of my other homies, he was the supervisor of the store, and he was chill too. There were some funny moments that we had as well, and there was a lot of stuff that we had in common, gaming-wise specifically. And you know what? Respect. Because a lot of people don't really tend to like a bunch of the games that I tend to play. And honestly, respects to his name. Back to the manager-wise, when the original manager left, there was a new one, and she was the best manager you could ever ask for. She didn't even have to do stuff like that of what she did for us, but she did it anyways. She would bring us food almost all the time. She'd bring us pizza. We would be having pizza parties for no reason. She would laugh and have a great time joking around and having some gossip with the rest of the guys, because it was mainly guys. A couple of girls, but mainly with the guys. And she was basically one of us instantly. And it was another reason why that job was so great, because even management, the higher-ups that tend to be the most pickiest and annoying people, she was one of the greatest. And my role in that store, I was a simple employee, and slowly but surely, I worked up to being a team lead. Now in that store, being a team lead was basically second in command to the assistant manager, or supervisor. And a lot of times it would be under my charge of whenever they went to go to lunch. So anytime they got their lunch, now I would be the one in charge for the hour period of their lunch. And there was a couple of incidences and, again, crazy stories that happened while I was, in charge for 1 hour. In 1 hour, some crazy stuff happened. And before we were even told about the store closing down, I was actually working up to becoming a supervisor in the store as well. I was glad to take that role. Now, I was scared that I was going to have more responsibility that I was not too comfortable with yet, and that I was going to have to almost stress out and struggle in the moment. But again, these guys had my back. They all told me. The assistant manager, the supervisor told me, he's like, hey, you got this. We believe in you. You got this. And if you can't figure out how to do it, we'll back you up. Don't you worry. We will not let you be by yourself. We will help you in any way possible. And that's another thing that I'm very grateful with. That everything that I was taught, they were right behind me. Any little mistakes that I made, I learned because they helped me. And that's how you grow. That's how you grow as a human. We make mistakes. So then we learn and experience those mistakes and we improve. But because I had them backing me up and helping me with anything that I would make a mistake on, that I missed out on, or that I forgot about, they had me. They had my back, no matter what. So this family of mine that I had, again, I will not forget you guys. But that should be for it for now. But again, I can tell you guys more stories if you guys like to. So now, let's talk about the now. And this now is about Dollar General. So Dollar General, I'll tell you the basics. It's pretty much what I did over there at work. There's a couple of extra steps, but it's quite simple. The job itself is not hard. The employees that I'm working with are not the worst for me either. I prefer my old coworkers, my family, but most everyone that I'm working with are not bad people. In fact, I like them. I'm already at a pace with them where I would consider them as friends. They're all my friends already. But there is this one person that I cannot stand because everything bothers her. Everything that I do bothers her. I don't know you. Why is everything so personal to you? I understand that you're doing what you have to do as your role in the store, because her role is a key holder. So she holds the keys, opens and closes the store. But she thinks that she is a higher up or a manager with the ways that she does her job. Because let me paint you the picture, okay? Let me tell you the little things that I've already seen that have currently bothered me and still do till this day with that woman. So anytime you are in the register, if your line gets long or you need something taken off of the list of the person that was trying to purchase something from their transaction, you call them up. You call one of the key holders, one of the supervisors, or the managers. One of the higher ups, basically. So someone above me. So anytime they have to take an item off, I have to ask them, hey, I need this item off of their transaction, please. And this woman goes, okay, yeah, let me take that off for you. Yeah, they use codes, basically, or their passwords, or whatever it is, to take away an item. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in a store. Why do you need a manager to take off a, let's say, freaking, I don't know, a bag of Cheetos? If the person doesn't want the Cheetos no more, let's say back in WSS, let's say they don't want a pair of Crocs no more. I can go, okay, let's take it off. Press on the X. That's it. And it's done. No. Over there, I need to constantly pause the transaction until someone picks up the walkie-talkie and then comes over or tells me, hang on a second, I'm doing something else, which, understandable, you're busy, but I have to wait for them because the person didn't want a toothbrush. Why? It just seems like way too much. I understand that every store has their own policies and the way that they work. Come on, are you serious? To take away an item from a transaction, you need a code every single time? That's crazy. So in this store, I'm pretty much extremely limited to what I can do. A lot of the things that happen in the transactions, I have to call up a manager. And it's annoying, but what else can I do? It's part of their rules and their policies, so I gotta follow them or I'm getting in trouble or I gotta leave to fix my problem. But again, my number one problem is this woman. Again, the other employees, they're great. They've been chill. The job, easy. Boring a lot of times, but easy. She ruins everything I tend to do because every task that you have to do for the day, they have a calendar which they put up that has the little tasks, especially about cleaning tasks that you got to do for the day. Something specific. So let's say clean up the registers. Okay, you got to clean the registers for today. Okay, simple enough. She finds the smallest speck to then point you out on it and says, yeah, I can't mark that down for you. Because in order them to basically approve and confirm that you did your task for the day, they have to sign the calendar where they put it down saying that they approved and they inspected what you did of work. Now, if I did it wrong, then that's fine, understandable. Okay, I probably missed something here and there, so let me go back and wipe it down again. But no, there's almost nothing no more, but because she just feels like it, she sees like a microscopic piece of plastic, if you will, and says, you missed this spot. Yeah, I can't write this down for you. You basically didn't do your task for the day, so yeah, this is gonna have to go down as insubordination. What? To let you guys know right now, I am on my last leg already at this job. And do you want to know how long I've been there? Take a guess. Take a wild guess of how long I've been there at that job. And I'm already on my final strike. It has barely been a month. And she wants for me to get kicked out already. And she is getting what she wants. Now, by the time of this video that's being recorded, today is the 7th of August. Now, tomorrow, being the 8th of August, I'm going to go talk to the main manager of the store. And I'm going to give her all of my complaints. Now, will I be heard? Hopefully. There has to be a change with this woman. Because it's not just me. I don't want to play, the victim here. But let me just say something else. My mom herself does not feel comfortable with this woman. She's a fan of the store. She loves the deals. She loves the decorations that they come out for every holiday. She doesn't like the fact that this woman is constantly watching you like a hawk. She walks around the store the entire time, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you know it's her because she has a bundle of keys right in her pants. You can hear those things jiggling and jingling back and forth because you know that's her when you hear the keys. And again, not just from me or my mother, I've had already customers come to me as well and complain about her too. They've put basically complaints towards me about her, that they don't like her. And I agree. It's nothing personal between me and her because I don't know who she is. I'm just another employee that's working alongside with her. But it feels so personal because what tends to happen a lot is the fact that she likes to pick on the guys. She almost exclusively picks on the guys. I have almost never seen the rest of the girls get in trouble. Because at that job, at Dollar General, the majority of employees are females. Nothing wrong with that. But the fact that the guys that are currently working are the ones that get poked on all freaking day. And currently, again, as of recording, 2 guys have already left, leaving 3, being me and 2 other guys. And the rest is dominated by women, which again, no problem with that. Again, I'm chill with the rest of the girls. They're all pretty cool, and I like working with them. But that woman is the one that I don't like working with. And a lot of times that I've been getting shifts, I do night shifts with her too. I'm not having fun. I'm actually being tortured at that job. Let me be clear, I've already had a mental breakdown at home. I have witnesses, being my siblings, that have seen me break down into tears because of how much I hate working there. Not the job, not the rest of the employees, but because she makes my life miserable. She makes my life and job miserable, and it sucks. So, again, I'm going to speak to the manager. Hopefully something changes, and hopefully get some good results at the end. But we'll see. Final statements. Yes, final statements. WSS. Goated. Best job to have. If you're going to work in a retail store, I can't 100% guarantee it because it's different in every store. Obviously, it's never the same. But a shoe store was pretty cool, pretty easy, and pretty fun. So I probably would recommend that. Dollar General. It sucked. If you work there, but you're having fun, good for you. Good for you. If you're working there, but you are miserable, I feel your pain. And now it's time to finish. So, again, thank you guys for watching. I hope all of you guys made it all the way till the end. And it's gonna be a long video. It was a long ramble. It's just something that I've wanted to kind of get off of my chest and kind of hear from you guys as well. I want to hear from you guys what your guys' past or current experiences are at work. It's a lot. It's not easy. I understand. That's how adulthood is for all of us. I'm in my 20s, and for all of my 20-year-olds out there, we have an understanding. Hopefully, you can understand my pain. I can feel yours. Or if you're having a great time, I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you're having a great time. And don't lose that job. Please, please don't lose that job. It will suck if you have to find another one. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys again for listening to my ramble about jobs. We'll see what we have to discuss about in the comments. So, I see you guys later.